Hi, my name is Rob Whitfield, and I'm excited to be talking to you today about an article that I've written called Your Next Team Member Will Be AI. In the tee-up video I recently shared around this content, I said I believe this research will be a seminal work at the intersection of AI and the impact on teaming competencies and teams within organizations. And there's so much more to come too. Let's double down in this space, so please do share your thoughts as you join me in this journey. As the world starts to awaken to the possibilities, the challenges, and necessary next steps with AI, employers, leaders, and team members are considering that they may soon be working with an artificial intelligence or AI colleague. And depending on where your organization is on the adoption curve, and perhaps your thoughts on this too, it may well be true that your next team member or colleague could be AI. And even if that's not the case, it won't be long before AI colleagues are as common as computers in our work or home-based offices. This has significant implications for you, your team members, your colleagues, and the ecosystem you've built or are building with customers, trusted partners, and experts. So why must we consider AI team members? Well, whether we like it or not, it is exceptionally likely that our competitors will be deploying AI in their organizations, which means we should at least explore what AI can do for us and how it can benefit us individually, help our teams thrive, and accelerate our ability to achieve our North Star mission, whatever that might be. Having AI colleagues can bring diverse perspectives, multidisciplinary collaboration, skill synergy, cost savings, and more. But what does AI look like in terms of a team member? What would a team member look like that is AI? Well, currently, we're seeing the application of AI in what Microsoft might call the co-pilot status, where AI is deployed to support individual team members and enhances their ability to complete their work in a shorter timescale, to a higher quality, and in a more comprehensive manner. Think of it like having a co-colleague or a work concierge that acts as a sounding board and can deliver too. Interestingly, this overcomes the traditional lack of candor within teams that we see all the time that prevents colleagues speaking up and asking questions, bouncing ideas around, coaching one another, and so on. Imagine having a trusted co-pilot that you can do all of that with and without any fear of being judged at all. No longer are we talking about the future being years and years away, but instead it's just around the corner. But looking at the world now, one of the emerging trends we are seeing is legislation to control AI design, application, and deployment. So the road to all uses of AI, in terms of co-colleagues, co-pilots, and so on, may be a little bit more bumpy before it becomes the equivalent of a superhighway to success. And of course, there are additional and specific considerations, many of which are evolving now, such as ethical concerns, societal impacts, potential biases, unintended consequences, and so on. And we have an obligation when we develop and deploy AI that we do so in an appropriate and responsible way that fosters respecting privacy, transparency, and accountability. Now, I said earlier on that exponential outcomes have never been easier to achieve when it comes to AI. So let's be clear. There are significant benefits to bringing on AI colleagues. The automation of repetitive tasks, and even complex ones that previously needed human ownership, data analysis and decision support, collaborative filtering and knowledge sharing, which could support the human team in understanding critical information for their specific roles. Augmented intelligence to enhance decision-making, problem-solving, and overall team performance. Enhanced communication and collaboration. Personalized workflows and recommendations, and much more. Now, rather than seeing this as a natural evolution of roles within your team, consider this to be a significant step change in what we do, how we do it, when we do it, and how we thrive together as a joint human AI team. By way of scale comparison, I believe we'll be looking at the same shifts as we saw when moving from manufacturing to IT as we will in moving from IT to AI. Now, of course, it's not all good, and the introduction of AI into teamwork also raises challenges. In speaking on this topic over the last few months, I consistently hear the first concern is around job displacement. I fully get why though, and I think we have the opportunity to reframe this with an abundant mindset and consider how AI can help each person do the work they find fulfilling and do it more easily. Yes, it's a leap, I get that, though a necessary one to unlock the potential benefits at the individual, team, and organizational levels. I love to discuss how displacement is just one option here, and instead of reducing headcount, we can truly increase outcomes exponentially, which means we can grow more quickly and grow at a co-exponential rate. Indeed, I fear that underrepresented groups are potentially the folks that will lose out here, and they might even be the early targets for job displacement, and that deeply concerns me. We have a duty to assure equal treatment, though frankly, as a collective group of organizations globally, we haven't done very well with that to date. The impact of bringing on an AI colleague could also lead to a them and us vibe within your team. And while we may look at this at the prospect as being reasonable because the AI colleague is not even human, it will lead to the AI colleague not being engaged with, involved, and included, and therefore not being harnessed for success. And it won't be deployed to maximize the team's effectiveness. Then we'd end up with wasted AI resources and a team that has rejected the support, the opportunities, and the possibilities that AI can bring. To be honest, it's no different from organizations who recruit new people into existing or new roles only to leave because the team welcome was anything but warm. It might be signs of resistance and resentment in there that make people want to go. Other times, it could be as effectively deployed as an antibody in the most extreme cases. But any of those are not going to be helpful to helping the team learn about, embrace, and win with AI. The only difference here is that the AI colleague is less likely to feel hurt, or at least not yet, but that's likely coming as well. Further, our human team members will need to learn how to interact with the AI colleague or colleagues, fueling the need for upskilling and reskilling. We'll need to consider how to assure ethical use of AI, how to address biases in AI algorithms and more, and so that we mitigate these challenges and design AI implementations in a way that empowers teams, fosters collaboration, and supports the well-being and growth of all team members. Now, it would also be remiss of me not to share that I believe that AI providers, which are often, though not always, startups, don't necessarily know how to integrate with teams. Solutions in this space cannot just be, here's our AI, get at it. Those providers of any size need to be ready to help integrate the AI solutions into teams, and to do that, they need to inherently understand how teams work effectively and efficiently, or don't, and how teams show up in suboptimal states so that they can forge the right approaches, connections, and applications regardless how the team is showing up. Now there's a challenge. So in reality, for AI to be effective, we need effective teaming competencies. When we introduce AI into our teams, it will be necessary for us to all shift how we communicate to include our new AI colleagues. Yes, I reread that as I was writing it, but it's true. The best way to introduce any new member, AI or human, to your team is to assure that you have a culture of effective teaming competencies to start with. Now, I've written extensively on what I call teaming and teaming competencies, so check out my other content. Though in short, teaming competencies are the mindsets, behaviors, and specific practices that teams contract around, so the very intentional how of the work they do helps them achieve their full potential. For example, high levels of candor, effective collaboration where the team owns success together, high individual and peer-to-peer accountability, and a focus on achieving 10x outcomes rather than merely just turning the handle and seeking 5 to 10% improvements in performance. This level of team cohesion drives the results, regardless of whether your colleagues eat, sleep, pray, and love like us humans, or simply turn on and turn off each day. AI has the potential to significantly shift teaming dynamics, and perhaps the winning stars in all of this won't be the AI colleagues, but the team members, the human ones, with strong interpersonal skills who can facilitate open dialogue, knowledge sharing, and effective coordination among team members. They can help bridge the gap between the technical and non-technical stakeholders, ensuring that everyone is on the same page and working towards the same goals. And with the advent of this new level of AI, there's no need for us lowly humans to be tech savvy to optimize the outcomes from our AI colleagues anymore. We'll need instead to be clear communicators who can frame up what we might see as requests at the moment, though in reality are going to be conversations with AI, and effectively and efficiently do so in order to harness the power of the AI tools. The future is bright if we get it right. So where do we start? Well, teaming is the right place to start. I'm often asked, where do we begin on any particular challenge, whether it's about thinking about AI or anything else? Well, teaming is typically the right answer for questions where we don't have the answers, but we can leverage the value driven from the interdependencies of the folks within the team to ideate, solve for, and optimize together. Involve your team in the right conversations and work through it together. Not only will your engagement with your colleagues and teams demonstrate your desire to co-create answers with them, which invites further collaboration, but you'll likely be surprised at the insights you can gather and how the co-creation drives ownership that means you're less likely to have to worry about a them and us in the future. And I'd be delighted to support you as you explore this. Just get in touch and we can discuss how we can partner with you, just as we've helped thousands of teams across the world tackle their priority challenges and opportunities. And at least for now, I can guarantee that you'll be speaking to the real Rob Whitfield and not an AI facsimile. Excited to hear what you think about this content and what you're doing about it in your organizations. And do, as I said, reach out if we can be of service to you at this important time. Speak soon. Take care.